Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickleboo Pickleball Tournament and Fall Hoop Fest. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
I'm with Ryan at Anytime Auto Sales. Time to be getting your car in tip-top shape for the summer months.
Yes, it is. Let's make sure your vehicles are ready to handle the warm months ahead.
Being a AAA and ASC certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that.
You know, Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle.
And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there?
Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. You can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click on the AutoPass Apply Now button.
What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people. Come see us today. We look forward to help you live a happy and affordable motoring life.
Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASC certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Here's what you need to know.
The NFL has fined the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints $500,000 each for unsportsmanlike conduct following multiple fights during their joint practice on Tuesday. The NFL's preseason continues tonight with two games at 8 Eastern. It's the Raiders and the Texans. And Raiders rookie quarterback and first overall pick Fernando Mendoza is expected to play the first half of tonight's game. Then later at 10 Eastern, it's the 49ers and the Chargers. Lions tight end Sam Laporta could miss the start of the regular season with a hip injury that will keep him out of practice for the near future. This is according to head coach Dan Campbell. In the NBA, James Harden has agreed to a 3-year deal worth $97 million to return to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this according to ESPN. In Major League Baseball, it was the Cardinals who defeated the Reds 10-9, Guardians over the Giants 5-2, Blue Jays took down the Rays 5-1, and the Brewers outscored the Mariners 7-4. Amancio Alaños.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Good Thursday afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. Remember, it is always a great day in South Dakota. You know that. We're here. We're ready. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, a little high-energy Thursday. Let's get after it tonight. Welcome in across the state on Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. Also live, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. The Nate Brown Show back and ready. A couple of ways you can catch us off the radio. We love the radio audience on your drive home. Absolutely. It's a radio show, not a podcast. We're interacting. We're back and forth with you. Join the conversation. But if you can't listen to the full 2 hours on radio, you got us on your phone. Follow us and watch us live on X at Nate Brown Show. We're streaming live, so you've got access there. At Nate Brown Show on X. One more place, YouTube.com. Go there, YouTube.com. Search The Nate Brown Show, and then you've got this show live right now, youtube.com, The Nate Brown Show. Glad you're here on a Thursday. Let's look at the lineup. Let's get popping. What's to come? Well, high school headline that I want to get to, a college sports headline I'm going to get to, so we'll start with that, and then let's look at the guest lineup. Jake Sorensen's coming on from Lincoln, Nebraska tonight. He hosts the early break, 93.7 The Ticket. It's out of Lincoln, great sports station in Lincoln, Nebraska. We'll talk Huskers and more. Jake Sorensen is on. Is the Husker football sold-out streak in jeopardy? I just got a note that they were trying to get me to buy tickets, and I could get $40 to the concessions and 4 tickets to the Bowling Green game. I think that's a deal. And people are saying the sellout streak's in jeopardy. First time since 1963. They've sold out every game. You guys know this. We'll get to that. What's the real story with the Husker sellout streak? Jake Sorensen's a Husker alum. He's a Nebraska-Lincoln alum. He's coming up. We'll go to Craig Mattick tonight. Big day for Craig Mattick, longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster, now with SDPB Sports. Covers all the state title and championship events. Craig Mattick, happy birthday on the Nate Brown Show from Craig Mattick tonight. I just broke the news. Craig's coming up live from Sioux Falls. And we'll go to Denver. Doug Ottewill is in. Mile High Sports. Doug Ottewill, senior writer for Mile High Sports, live from Denver. Thursday show is Happy Hour with Rob Keighron next hour. We always send you into the weekend with a Thursday Happy Hour full hour with national radio host Rob Keighron. He is our guest host live in studio every Thursday. So Rob's on tap tonight. Let's get you in if you want to join the conversation. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, thought-provoking sports talk with you on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Two great locations, locally owned and operated. They're great. Fun Zone Arcade's outstanding. Really good service. Stop by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Hit us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. So lock in that number. You've got us. Phones are working today. Had a little issue yesterday. We came back with it, but phone's working. I paid the bill. It's okay. 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. And finally, one more way to be a part of the program, join the conversation on the Barron's Wilson text line. Barron's Wilson text line has been with us from the start, and you can text the show directly, 605-720-1067. All right, thanks for making this show possible, guys. Let's get out of the gate. I said I got a high school sports story headline, and I got a college sports story headline. So two things here in the opening segment on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Let's go to this high school headline out of Colorado. And why would you care? Well, Colorado is going to do something different as they start this high school sports season. As we're all starting the high school fall sports season, Colorado's going to do something different this year, how they seed teams. And they're going to say, why do I care? Well, let's just bring this back to South Dakota. How we seed teams as we go through every sport, we have a formula, we have a system that takes into account this. This is how you get your rankings in the South Dakota High School Activities Association seeding. And this is like how you get seeded for football. Where do you land? Are you a number 1 seed? Are you a number 5 seed? Where do you land? This is for postseason seeding. Our system in South Dakota is what? It takes into account win-loss record of my team. So if you have a kid playing, win-loss record matters big time. Then it takes into account your opponent's win-loss record. Okay, so who you play on your schedule does matter, and how they do does matter. That's part of the formula. There's more to it. Then it gets deeper into like your opponent's win-loss record. Are you following? I mean, I'm getting into the weeds tonight. But this is our formula because everybody kind of wonders, well, how does this team rank over this team? And people have even said that to me. Well, I looked at your Power 5 poll. You guys rank high school football teams, and this team's ranked higher. Hey, guess what? The Power 5 poll does not count at all. The media poll that everybody tries to do, that doesn't count. So I think fans get confused in high school sports in South Dakota. They say, well, this team's ranked higher. I was looking at this poll that's put out there on the news. That doesn't matter. It all comes down to the real formula from the Activities Association, and that's what I'm discussing tonight. So South Dakota does win-loss record, opponent's win-loss record, and then it counts your opponent's opponents. So, like, you play a team, to explain this, if they play tough teams and they do fairly well, then you're going to get seed points for that. Okay, so I'm not going to go any further than that. That's the formula in South Dakota. I bring that up because Colorado had a similar formula than we do. Okay, they have a similar formula until they changed it today. Yes, they'll still count win-losses and opponents and stuff like that. They're going to add a factor, a component, and here's what it is. And this is how I'm going to bring up our question of the day tonight. Colorado is going to do something new for ranking high school teams this year. They're going to throw in margin of victory when you play teams. So they're going to throw in, do I beat teams by, in football, 2 touchdowns, or do I beat them by 4 touchdowns? So you just want to throw that in here. This is the perfect example of what I'm trying to explain to you. So that's going to be an extra factor into Colorado's seeding system. This is the first time I've heard of this. I don't know any other states that do this. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, what's this going to lead to? So Colorado says, hey, we gotta reward teams for the postseason rankings by how much they beat teams by. So I will say they are going to cap this on some of the sports. Well, on all of the sports. So they're going to cap this so you don't need to blow out a team in basketball by 50 and get more points. But they are going to cap it at 20. So let's say, here's the example. Basketball season's coming up in Colorado in the winter. You can't beat a team by 12. You got to beat them by 20. That's the cap. Okay, so getting a team victory by 20 makes you better than beating them by 12. You follow this? That's the new plan in Colorado. And I did bring up football since it's football season. The cap in Colorado for the margin of victory seed points is 28 points. So we're talking 4 touchdowns. So, yes, in Colorado this year, you could beat a team by 21. That's not as good as beating a team by 28. And so there's a coach in Colorado who just threw this out last night. I saw this. A coach in Colorado is a basketball coach. He said, wait, so now I'm going to have parents of the other team that I'm beating mad at me because we're up by 14 and I'm still pressing to try and get up by 20 or more. because I'm going to get a point for the margin of victory component in the new Colorado ranking system, which now takes into account margin of victory. So I do hear the coaches I see this as a potential issue. But let me throw this out. It's interesting. I'll ask you, do you think if you beat a team in football by 14, it's the same as beating them by 28? In Colorado, they'll tell you you're going to get a point in the new system if you win by 28, not if you win by 10. Not if you win by 20. The point cap is 28. So the only measure they do have in place, I will explain this, like they're not going to give you more points if you win a basketball game by 40. They are going to cap this at 20. So the margin of victory point system's 20. You get a point. If you win by 30, you're not going to run up the score to win by 40. So that's one regulation in place. But nonetheless, this coach is still saying, hey, what if I'm pressing? We're up by 16. I probably don't need to press anymore at least. Well, I kind of want to win by 20 because now that's going to help our seed points. You see how we make this hard? I know formulas aren't perfect. Postseason rankings and doing the seed points here in South Dakota, I always think it's not a perfect system. It's just not. You have to take into account there's some head-to-head stuff, and there's win-loss records, and some teams have better schedules than others. And so you see teams that get seeded in basketball, and you're like, hey, why is that team ranked higher than this one? Well, it's because of the formula. So Colorado's trying to say, we're gonna try and fix this a little bit and try and do margin of victory as a formula. Let me ask you the question of the day. Very interesting thought here in Colorado. They're going to start that. Very interesting. Colorado's going to start using margin of victory in games as a component to seed teams in high school. Do you think a team that wins by 28 in football should be factored more than a team that wins by 14? So I'll ask you, what do you think of the idea? Colorado's going to start it this season. And we'll talk to Doug Ottewill. He's covered Colorado high school preps for quite some time. Mile High Sports, he's coming up later this hour. Do you think it would encourage blowouts, or it's a better way to seed? You take into account teams that win by more are better than teams that just barely get by. Margin of victory as a component to seed teams in high school. You with it? Are you out on it? Our question of the day, 605-720-1067 on the Barons-Wilson text line. Text line's open. Question of the day is open. Interesting idea. I don't think you need to do it. The seeding, I'll just stick with this. The seeding point system it's always dicey anyway. It's just dicey anyway. You just got to go. I mean, people get so wound up. There's actually teams that won't schedule certain teams. Like in basketball, I know this. Well, no, we can't play that game because, it's a Class A school, so we're going to lose points. We don't want to lose points. We don't. What if we lose to these guys? That has stopped some great regional matchups. This is just an example I've had here in South Dakota. There's teams that worry so much about seed points in basketball. Well, we got to get a good seed. We got the Sodak 16. We got to try and get a home game so we can try and win and get into the state tournament in AA basketball. We don't want to put we can't lose to a Class A team, and then they just don't play it. So this just adds another element, I think, in Colorado. Oh, man, we got to win by 20 now in basketball? We got to win by 28. What it's going to do is just going to tick off teams. It's going to tick off teams that are getting beat, and then the other teams are going to look like morons because they're trying to win by even more. At least one Colorado coach has called it out starting last night, but they're going to put it in place. So what do you think? It would encourage blowouts. You don't like it, or it is a better way to seed, add another component to the win-loss situation. So heavy votes right now. 82% say I don't like it. It will encourage blowouts. So they will cap it. 20 points in basketball. You don't get any more points if you win by 30. It's 20. Football's 28. Baseball's 10. The old 10-run rule in baseball. So you got to win by 10 to get an extra point in this Colorado system. In baseball. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. 18% of you say it actually could be a better way to seed teams for the postseason. Text me if you want. 605-720-1067. Some listener text coming in. Heavy votes here. One say, I don't like this at all. Imagine if this happened in 11 AA football. Well, what are you trying to say? They got to win by 28 every time? And then they get extra points in Pierre. They don't need extra points. Lister text, this is dumb. Adds an element that doesn't need to be there. Up by 17, hoist with 3 seconds left rather than dribble the ball out in basketball. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's just going to, like basketball's where you have this unwritten rule kind of stuff. It's like, don't shoot, hold the ball, you're up comfortably, don't press. I mean, there's some of that stuff. Football has some of that too, like don't pass anymore when you're up by a lot. So if you're up 21 in the fourth quarter, are you going to pull your guys or are you going to try and get up by 28 to get an extra point in Colorado? Wow, interesting. Going to open up a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a hornet's nest. Going to open up a hornet's nest a little bit. Speaking of a hornet's nest, I got to touch on this really quick. The other college headline today. So yesterday, I don't know if you saw this story where a judge in Louisiana granted a restraining order to allow players that didn't get a fifth year to come back because the NCAA put in this new rule, 5 for 5. You get 5 years of college sports eligibility moving forward, but it didn't count the guys that just got out. So now a judge took this, and he's going to allow it. He's saying, yes, you can go and play football right now. And it's a mess. There's people that have been in NFL training camps that are now coming out of the training camp. They're not going to make the team, so now they're going to try and go to the transfer portal to play college football again. They were just in an NFL training camp. I just saw a running back did it. There was a linebacker who did it. So this is the classic example where I keep saying you guys may not like this bill at the Senate and the U.S. House, the Protect College Sports Act, and people argue about it. We got to have something, guys, because the NCAA has nothing. They can't enforce anything. They said, hey, 5 for 5, eligibility, we've got it. Moving forward, we're good. Nope, lawsuits. Hey, we're going to pull out players from the pros. They aren't going to make it. We're going to let them play again because the NCAA can't enforce anything. So this is another point for Protect College Sports Act federal legislation. I don't love it. You got to have the federal law because the NCAA can't control squat. I mean, it's a mess. You got a bunch of players now coming out. The season starts next week. First games are next week. And I got players jumping on the roster because they get an extra fifth year because the NCAA can't do anything right. What a wild deal. A wild deal. Let's go to Jake Sorensen. He's in Nebraska, 93.7 The Ticket. He's on in Lincoln every morning. Huskers are trying to sell out. They've been having this streak since 1962. To be precise, November 1962. Sold out every game. Is this Husker sellout streak real or is it in danger? They're trying to get you to buy a package to go to the Bowling Green game. Are we in trouble in Nebraska? Jake Sorensen's coming up from Lincoln next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing provides your home with the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors to enhance your home's appearance. Available in cut-to-length panels that cover a large area for fast installation. White and bright, white Pro-Rib steel roofing are on sale now through August 23rd. Plus, shop our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Choosing a hotel for an upcoming family trip to the Black Hills? Why just stay when you can make it an unforgettable adventure? When you choose any of the 5 hotels surrounding Mattick Indoor Water Park, your stay includes free passes for your kids where they'll enjoy hours of fun in South Dakota's largest indoor water park. From the budget-friendly La Quinta by Wyndham to the modern Courtyard by Marriott, there's a perfect option for every family. Unlock your adventure and book your stay now at WautikiWaterPark.com.
The best certified pre-owned values are at Denny Menno Toyota. Shop 11 Toyota certified used vehicles in stock, inspected and backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Financing as low as 5.49% APR for 72 months is available. Looking to sell? We pay top dollar for used vehicles. Get an appraisal in 20 minutes. See us at Denny Menno Toyota or DennyMennoToyota.com today. $16.33 for finance regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/2026.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 91. Northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight, lows around 64. High of 93 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies Saturday with highs in the mid-80s, slight chance of thunderstorms Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 89 degrees.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
If you're a business owner, you've invested your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. Long days, sleepless nights, all to build something that matters. But what if something happened to you tomorrow? What happens to everything you've built? Do you have a plan? Does your family have a plan? Contact Lee Cruz with New York Life right here in Rapid City. There are affordable options you maybe haven't considered. Just spend 15 minutes protecting what took you years to build. Call Lee Cruz, 605-360-8804, or Google Lee Cruz New York Live.
Shop the region's unmatched selection of beer, wine, and spirits at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include $6 off Pendleton Whiskey, now $18.99 for the 750 ml. Save $2 off all Kim Crawford wines, your choice for just $13.99. Or choose all flavors of Sugarland's Moonshine, now only $19.99. All this plus rare allocated bourbons and exclusive in-store barrel picks. Available at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Catron next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, just getting started tonight, Thursday edition of the program across the state, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Thanks for making this show possible. Appreciate all of our sponsors in South Dakota and our listeners. We appreciate you guys. KWSN in Sioux Falls, we're live, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Doug Ottewill's coming up from Colorado. He covers the entire Colorado sports scene, but he's a big high school guy. So this Colorado formula of adding margin of victory to their seed rankings is wild to me. So if you win by more in football, you're going to get a better ranking when it comes to the postseason seeding. They're just adding that in this year. I thought that was interesting. Would that fly in South Dakota? Sioux Falls teams in football are going, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to cap it at 28. They cap it at 28 in football. So if you win by 20, it's not as good as 28. But you can't win by 42, okay? This is interesting. Doug Ottewill's coming up. Colorado Preps. Hang on. Let's go to Jake Sorensen, Lincoln, Nebraska. 93.7 The Ticket. Great station. He's on in the morning. He's up early. Early break. Jake, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for having me on once again. Always a pleasure.
I appreciate you. I want to get into some Huskers right away. So I see this promotion that I could get a big ticket package, 4 tickets, $40 of concessions. I got a steal to go watch Nebraska Bowling Green. Are we trying to is the sellout streak in danger? Is this real? Is this not real? What is it?
Oh, there's no doubt it's in danger. I mean, the combination of the fact that Nebraska has just not been very good for the last 10-plus years and fighting to be 6-6, at some point that has to matter with the fan base, and they have to say something about, do I want to go to these games and spend this money or not, especially with rising prices across the area. If the product in the field is not going to be worthwhile, you're not going to get wins, and it's hard to tell them to go to games. So you combine that with the fact that it's a very just boring non-conference with Bowling Green, Ohio, and North Dakota. Yeah, they got to get creative, and it is in trouble. I mean, Nebraska has 410 straight games of sellout since 1962. It has been in trouble, I think, for a couple of years, but it is really in trouble now, and they are getting very creative, and I would not be surprised to see if we hear that the streak ends at some point in the first couple of games.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I've been told by some Husker people, is that donors come in and they buy up a bunch of tickets just to keep the streak alive. Is that possible?
Well, that's been going on for a long time. That has been happening. So, Nebraska does a good job. If you see like they pan out to the crowd, it still looks pretty full for most games, but it's definitely not truly sold out in terms of that. And so, yeah, it's been donors for a long time buying out tickets. So, at what point do you say, how many tickets can I really buy? How much do I really want the streak to continue? And how much am I willing to eat on this in terms of the cost? So we'll see what happens with the donors in that, but that's been happening for quite some time with that situation.
Okay, so you kind of are saying the non-conference schedule's a major factor, not any highlight games, but the Huskers should win these games. They should win these games easily, so there's got to be a little bit of excitement. I had the Huskers starting 5-0. I got them starting 5-0, Jake.
Well, there's a path to it. I mean, they should be 5-0. If they should beat Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota somewhat easily. We all know that that upset happened. You hope to avoid the upset. But then you go to Michigan State, who's got a first-year head coach, and Pat Fitzgerald, who certainly will be motivated to beat Nebraska's first conference game. And then you come back and host Maryland, who's not great, but has a pretty good young quarterback, and Malik Washington. So, I mean, again, on paper, 5-0 is very realistic. It should happen, but Nebraska has not really done what they should do for many years, and that's why, again, do I expect 5-0? I think they should, but I bet they slip up one of these 5 games. That is just what Nebraska has done the last 10, 12 years.
I know what you're saying, and you've lived it. You're a Husker alum, and so you've seen it, and I've always put my schedule out there, and I've always given Nebraska wins, and then they end up losing.
Right.
But I do have them at 5-0 to start, but guess what? I have them finishing 7-5. It gets really tough. Middle to the end gets really tough. And if they can pick off a win like Illinois or Washington, maybe that changes. But I got them 7-5. Have you broken it down?
Well, I think I'd say this. I think Nebraska, like you said, they should be 5-0. They'll probably lose to Indiana, Oregon back-to-back, and they have the bye week. I keep saying on the show, I'll keep saying it until the game happens. The biggest game of the year for Nebraska is Washington, because if you are 5-0, then you get to 5-2. November has been a month of horrors for Nebraska ever since really Bo Pelini was fired back in 2014. It's been a bad month for Nebraska. And so right now it's somewhat daunting because you have 3 road games out of 4 at Illinois, at Rutgers, and at Iowa. But those 3 games are all winnable if you think about it. Iowa's been a problem for Nebraska, but they don't have a quarterback right now they know that they like. This is going to be something that we'll see what they look like at quarterback. But Illinois is good, but they're not unbeatable. And Rutgers is not very good on the road. So if you beat Washington, who could be ranked, you end this streak of 10 years without being a ranked team, 30 straight losses to ranked teams, and you get to 6-2, and you kind of can breathe, breathe easily, knowing you're in a bowl game. But then I think, hey, can you beat Illinois? Can you beat Rutgers? Can you get to 9-3? There's a path, but Washington is the key to all of that.
Yeah, I am with you on that. I watched that Washington game as I broke it down. I'm like, that's a key. That is a key game there if the Huskers can win it. I got them going 7-5, and if that comes to play, let's say they say 7-5, that's the spot where nothing happens, right? Because it's a huge contract extension for Matt Rule. It's not terrible. And what happens with Nebraska fans with a 7-5 year?
Well, you're right. They would fire him. It depends if they get murdered by Iowa or how November goes again. I guess how they get to 7-5. But on paper, that's progress. It's very slow progress. But I think the key is here, Nate, that Nebraska's really depending on Trey Taylor, this quarterback coming in that moved to Lincoln, going to play at Millard South for football. He's actually the #1 quarterback in the country, committed to Nebraska. So it's all going to come down to, does he stay committed? Does he sign with Nebraska? And then we'll see what happens, because they have a pretty good class coming in for next year. He's the big cog for that. But so much depends on how this season goes, because no one's going to stop recruiting Trey Taylor. Ohio State wants him, and why would he not go to Ohio State? If this is showing signs of leaking, which very much could happen, there's no guarantee he ends up coming to Nebraska. So right now he's a very, very solid commit. But as we all know, when seasons go awry and things go wrong, things happen in recruiting. So the whole next 4 months are just going to be fascinating with the future of him and what this fan base does in terms of just completely apathetic to the program. If they go, like you mentioned, 7-5, which is a pretty common thought for fans and how the season's going to go.
Jake Sorensen's joining us from Lincoln, 93.7 The Ticket. He's on in the morning. Great show, great station. He's on X at 937 Jake Sorensen. So tell me, if people miss this, Trey Taylor is the #1 QB in the country recruit. I'm talking in the country. How'd Nebraska get him? And yeah, he's going to play in Omaha his last high school season here.
Yeah, so they were on him a couple years ago. He was a quarterback from Illinois, and they got him before he really popped and developed. And he kind of kept going up the rankings. He went to the Manning Elite 11 camp and was performed very well there. And stayed committed to Nebraska, moved to Lincoln. Again, he's going to play football, you mentioned, at Millard South. He'll be a juggernaut up there with that team. But he's living in Lincoln, working out near the facilities in this area. So, he's #1 in the country, and he's had a great offseason. So I'll tell you this, it's going to be fun going to high school football games in Nebraska, because you could have the #1 quarterback and potentially the top player in the country in general playing football here in the state.
I love it. That's good stuff. By the way, there's a little report out. I couldn't remember who put this out, but it was about Nebraska trying to choose their QB for this year, and that turned out to be Anthony Calandria. I watched him a lot, probably about 5 games last year at UNLV. I'm a Mountain West guy, so I was watching him, and he was a nice player, runs around, makes plays. The story today that I saw said this is the first guy that wanted to get in there. He was the first guy to arrive. So Nebraska said, yeah, let's bring you in here in a morning. and then Matt Rule said that's been our guy. He was our guy right away. You believe that?
Not really. I think Kenny Minchie was their guy from Kentucky, and he was signed with them for a day, and then went to Kentucky the next day, and that's how they got Calandra. So I know they want to spin it that way to keep the people calm here. I don't think he was somebody that was down their list and say, "Oh, we got to get him because I guess we have to go down this far on the list." But I think it was up as high, but I don't think he was number one.
Okay.
But that being said, I have not. I watched his highlights. I didn't watch them like you did in terms of games, so. The film is solid, but I know that he's seen as a gunslinger. I've heard he's throwing some picks at practice. Also, has had some great plays at fall camp. But I guess that's the trade you get, is that somebody that can be electric also can be a problem with turnovers. So, before he went to UNLV, he was at Virginia and was just very mediocre there with turnovers and touchdowns. So Dan Mullen may have unlocked him last year in terms of his running ability. I think he had 10 touchdowns on the ground last year versus just 2 in 2 seasons at Virginia. So if he can utilize that, make that part of his game, then he's going to be dangerous. But you know, Nate, that going from the Mountain West to the Big Ten is not going to be easy for him.
No, it's interesting. I'm interested to watch him. I watched him a lot. Anthony Calandra is the new QB for the Huskers as they get ready to start the season. Jake Sorensen's on in South Dakota tonight. Last one for you. I want to go to this high school football thing that's kind of got attention this week. USA Today, brought out the numbers from the National Federation of High School Association, and they said Nebraska's lost a bunch of high school football players over the last 16 years. And people say, well, their numbers aren't quite accurate, but yeah, there is less high school football players. Are high school football players going to Lincoln, going to Omaha? Is it the small towns losing population? What do you think high school football's like in Nebraska?
It's all of the above. I think Lincoln and Omaha are getting the best players. It's why I like when you see in the past schools like Kearney, Class A in Nebraska, Norfolk can win state championships. But those days I think are kind of gone because, like you said, if they're staying in Nebraska, they're going to Omaha or they're going to Lincoln, and mostly it's typically Omaha for these schools. But yeah, it's also the fact, like you mentioned. I mean, small town Nebraska is not what it was in the past. So it's just kind of a sad story about where society's going with where they're living, but it's also just the rich get richer, and that's, I guess, in the Lincoln, Omaha area. So fun for the Class A watching, but sad for those who like to see the great stories of someone rising up from Class C, Class D, and I hope that changes in the near future, but right now it's not trending that direction. And you got to think also, maybe part of this is NIL has reached the high school ranks.
Yeah.
So if I'm a great player live in a Class C town, and someone in Class A in Omaha say, I can pay you to come here, well, guess what? Their family's going to say, we're going up there to get paid. So NIL is everywhere, and that's going to cripple the small schools, the small towns, and until something changes, that's just going to be the way it is, sadly.
Okay, so you don't see, kind of a bigger town like Kearney, you don't see them having a competitive enough football environment anymore to make a run?
Well, I hope I'm wrong. Kearney has had success in the last 10 years in high school football. It's just been a while. It's typically the Omaha schools, Millard South, Omaha West Side, Omaha North, once in a while in Millard North. Those are kind of the top 4 teams. Yeah. And occasionally Bellevue West jumps in there. But, Lincoln has not really had a great football team for quite some time. And Kearney, it's been a couple years, but the way things are trending with this NIL, it's gone to high school football. I hope I'm wrong, Nate. I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like it's going the right direction for the other Class A schools.
Interesting. In South Dakota, Sioux Falls Metro has taken over the high school football scene at the big school class. It really has. Interesting trend. No NIL, as far as I know, with Sioux Falls players. I better get my ears to the ground on that. Jake Sorensen in tonight. 93.7 The Ticket, the early break in the morning out of Lincoln. Jake, good to have you, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Nate. See you.
Appreciate you. Jake Sorensen, 93.7 The Ticket, Lincoln, Nebraska, here on the Nate Brown Show. Good stuff from Jake. Will the Husker sellout streak? He sounded like it's in danger. It's in danger. Over 400 straight games. Sellout streak since 1962. It's in danger. Well, you better get your package. Go to the Bowling Green game. You have 4 tickets, $40 in concessions. What do they say, $160 total? I mean, that's good stuff. That's better than Stampede packages. Anyway, have fun. Doug Ottewill is in next. Mile High Sports. He covers Colorado high school sports as well. And I want to get into this new ranking system in Colorado high school sports. They're going to debut it this season, where the more you beat teams by, you could get a better seeding for the postseason. We don't do that in South Dakota. They're going to start it in Colorado. We'll talk to Doug Ottewill next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
Serious DIYers know when it comes to brake jobs, quality matters. Now through August 31st, buy a set of Perfect Stop brake pads at your local Auto Value Parts store and receive a free can of brake cleaner. Perfect Stop brake pads are engineered to restore optimal braking performance while delivering quiet, dependable stopping power. Stop by your local Auto Value Parts store today, where we've got the parts, we've got the smarts, and your free can of brake cleaner too.
The action doesn't stop when the game starts.
Back at the wall, tie game!
Wager Sportsbook and Grill is now open at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, serving crave-worthy eats, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop energy. Dig into wings, smash burgers, and loaded bowls, then get in on the action at the BetMGM Sportsbook. Bet big, eat well, and catch every play from the front row. Learn more at CadillacJacksGaming.com. Every bite, every play, Wagers delivers.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
At Spearfish GMC Cadillac, the deals are as hot as the pavement. Right now, save big on 2026 GMC Sierra 1500s with total savings up to $94.50, or choose 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Plus, get up to $2,000 off select GMC Sierra HD models. And with truckloads of new GMC inventory arriving soon, there's never been a better time to shop GMC. Hurry in for the best selection. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Online at spearfishmotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Doesn't matter where your ride's from. At Al's D&I, we baby them, every single one. Got a ride from across the pond? No worries. Let the ASE certified pros at Al's D&I pamper your pride and joy. Foreign or domestic, maintenance or repair. Doesn't matter if it requires special parts or tools or if its owner's manual is in another language. At Al's D&I, we don't care where your ride's from, but we do take great care to treat your ride like it is our own. Drive on in to Al's D&I, Sturgis Road, and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament and Fall Hoop Fest. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, we're live. Let's do it live. Okay, we are. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Stream us on X at Nate Brown Show. Watch us live. In studio, welcome in. I got the new shirt on today, the new olive green shirt. I got a dinner tonight, and the olive green shirt. Didn't know how that would work. It's okay. We're okay. Middle-aged man, olive green shirt. It's okay. The Nate Brown Show live on X at Nate Brown Show. Doug Ottewill is on tonight from Colorado, Mile High Sports, and he's a Colorado Preps guy, too. He's a good Colorado Preps guy. Doug's dad, long-time Colorado High School Activities Association executive director. So I saw this come out from Colorado yesterday, where they're going to add a margin of victory component into ranking teams like for the postseason. That's interesting. They had a system like we do, like win-loss record, your opponent's win-loss record, and then your opponent's opponents. Like you have a formula where you strength of schedule, and that's how you seed teams like we do in South Dakota. Colorado's going to throw in a new margin of victory. They are going to cap it, so you don't want to blow teams away by 50. But it sounds like you want to beat them by like 20 in basketball. You want to beat them by 28 in football. And they're going to say, hey, a 28-point win's better than a 10-point win. Let's go to him. Doug Ottewill is on tonight. Doug, I appreciate you. How are you?
I'm good. I've always thought you were strong in olive green.
I knew that. You've been with me a long time, so you've been a long-time supporter. Hey, let me ask you this. So you know all about Colorado high school sports, and you guys cover it well. I don't know if this is like a big emergency or anything, but I thought this Max Preps formula that Colorado's going to start using, and they're going to throw in margin of victory as a component to try and kind of determine postseason rankings, and they're going to cap these margin of victory. So, again, I kind of explained it like if you beat a team in basketball by 30, that's going to be the same as 20. So 20 is the cap. But what do you think about adding margin of victory, Doug, to determine who should be a higher seed?
I think it's applicable. I think it makes more sense maybe in the smaller classifications because you have more like opponents and you have, especially in six-man. I mean, you get scores of 70 to 50 sometimes. So I think it does kind of is a decent indicator in those classifications. I think at the 5A level, the Cherry Creeks, the Valor Christians, some of the big schools, I don't think it happens as much, but I think it could. And Cherry Creek is going to beat people by 20 or 30 pretty often. But I do like that they cap it because I think, you take a coach like Dave Logan or Mike Sanford, who's at Valor now, you played at Boise. I think their big incentive is to get guys out of the game if they're up big and let younger kids play. And that's how you build strong, programs, and you got guys that are waiting in the wings. And the only thought that I had that I heard today, when people were talking about is Dan Mormon, who I know you know from the show too.
Yeah.
His theory was, hey, this is fine, but there's a lot of coaches that want to get to 40 because 40 is when you get a running clock. And, if you're playing a football game and you can get a running clock, you greatly diminish your chance of injuries and all those things because the clock's just going to go fast. It's so, in some ways you kind of wish that it would have coincided with that because then you're kind of hitting two objectives. You don't want teams to get blown out unnecessarily, but you also, if you can get to a running clock, you avoid, I would say, a percentage of injuries for sure.
Okay.
But, I think at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if it really doesn't make that much of a difference when they come to the seeding. I mean, I think the same teams will kind of be there. I guess, we'll have to see in late October when they start doing playoffs if there's anybody that sort of, climbs the ladder because they got a lot of blowouts.
Yes.
Had a weaker schedule with a lot of blowouts. I think it'll, in the years of covering Colorado high school sports, there's a lot of ideas and a lot of rule changes that get passed. And sometimes everybody thinks they're a great idea and they last 2 years until their next vote, and then they're done.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see how it actually affects the game or if it does at all.
Colorado's going to start using margin of victory as a component in games for a seeding formula for high school sports. So, Doug, are you telling me a 28-point victory in football coming up here next week, team wins by 28, is that a better victory than winning by 14? I'm just asking.
I really think it has everything to do with the opponent. I mean, if and I keep using Cherry Creek as an example because they're the powerhouse here. I think they've won 6 out of 7 state championships. If they beat somebody by 28, I don't think it matters near as much as if they beat Valor Christian by, 13.
Okay.
Because it's a strength of opponent, which I think, if I'm reading the fine print right, I think strength of schedule or strength of opponent's schedule is still more important than, the quote-unquote blowout rule.
Okay, yeah,
So
it's still part of it.
I'm hoping that's the case.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. No, I get that. So we do it in South Dakota. We do it the same formula. Strength of schedule, your opponent's win-loss record, your opponent's win-loss record. So there's like a pretty deep formula. We don't do the margin of victory in this new Colorado system. They're going to add a margin of victory component on this and cap it. I did see this Colorado basketball coach posted last night. He said, okay, parents are going to be mad at me now when I'm up by 16 in basketball and I keep the press on because I'm trying to get to the 20-point mark to get a margin of victory seed here. So he said they're going to say, what are you doing? So like basketball, I'm up 16, I'm going to keep the press on, I got to win by 20.
Yeah, I think basketball is going to be the sport that's affected far more than football because you just don't see that many big blowouts in a high school football game. I mean, there's just, the difference of opponents, is not as great. But in basketball, you can see a 20-point game pretty regularly. And I do think that it could negatively impact that in terms of just coaches letting kids get experience. I mean, you think back to like when I was in high school, had to play a certain amount of quarters or a certain amount of minutes or, whatever the rules were, and in order to letter. And I know that was a big deal to us back then. I don't know if, will you see some of those kids that are JV swing kids and they never get that chance? I mean, I hope not, because, if you're up by 15 in the last 2 minutes, hope any kid on your roster doesn't lose that lead, but
no, that's the thing.
High school kids.
Here's the deal. I'm up by 21 in football. And the margin of victory cap is 28 in Colorado here. So, you're trying to get to 28. So I wonder if coaches will take this too serious and say, well, we're up by 21. Sorry, Jimmy, I'd put you in the last few minutes, but I need to score another TD. Let's throw a bomb to get up by 28. I hope that's not the case, but some teams are on the bubble, and they know they're seeding. They're going to want to do that.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see maybe not a fight, but a verbal altercation at least once or twice in football this year because someone scored a late touchdown when they didn't need to.
That's interesting, man. It really is. Doug Ottewill is on tonight from Colorado. He's covered the Colorado prep scene a lot. Mile High Sports. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. Colorado's new rule, margin of victory for high school sports, is part of their formula for ranking teams when it comes to seeding them in the postseason. My audience, I asked him, Doug, I said, what do you think of this idea? 83% say it encourages blowouts. What do you think?
I would agree with that. I mean, if you put an element that matters into what you're doing on a game-by-game basis, coaches know that. I mean, shoot, kids know that. So, it will come into play a little bit, and I don't love it. I mean, and look, a lot of those coaches, like I used, again, Cherry Creek, but Dave Logan, great coach, and I think one of the reasons that he's so good is that, when he has a team that they've got, handled, he plays younger kids, and he has a lot of depth. And if he can't do that because he's incentivized to score one more touchdown or, keep a lead at 29 or whatever, I think that's unfortunate because it does limit other kids' experience. And long term, that might hurt your own team. If you have a varsity stud that goes down in the state quarterfinals and the kid behind him hasn't played hardly at all because of this new rule, I think it does impact teams, both negatively and positively.
Very interesting. I've never seen it done like this. Colorado's going to try it out for the seed rankings margin of victory component in all sports, and they do cap it, like in baseball's 10 runs, basketball's 20 points, football's 28 points. So, interesting. Okay, let me get your take on the Broncos, the biggest headline of the week. The fight Bo Nix pulled off Nick Bonito by the leg. Bo Nix threw a ball at Malik Roach. I mean, so what's the deal here? Nothing doing. We okay? What do you think of the fight here earlier this week?
I think it's great. I mean, I don't know if you heard Bo's soundbite, but he basically said, "Yeah, this is what I need to fire us up. This gets you ready for the season." And he said all the right things. It's a physical game played by physical people, all those things. It's interesting, though, that that's what happened, because about a week before camp, we brought Nick Bonito in. He's going to be on our next cover. And one of our questions was, can you rattle Bo? Because, Bo is kind of Mr. Cool. He's calm, cool, collected, and he will clap back at a defensive guy. You see it on TV all the time. I wouldn't call him a trash talker, but he definitely won't put up with stuff.
Okay.
And so we talked to Nick Bonito about it, and he said, it's really hard to rattle Bo. Like, it's hard to get to him, and he said, as a defense, he's our guy. We don't try to get under his skin too much. But, in camp, the third week of camp, of course the guys are going to get after each other. And so it's kind of interesting to get his take ahead of that, because he kind of said, Bo's hard to get to. And I almost wonder, not because of that interview question, but by the end of camp, I wonder if those guys are like, you know what, let's get under this guy's skin and test him a little. And the fact that Bo, I'm glad he didn't throw any punches, but...
No, it sounded like... I don't think it went too crazy, but a little Broncos dust up there with Bo Nix and a couple of D linemen, Nick Bonito and Roach. Doug Ottewill is in tonight. Great Colorado high school sports discussion, man. We'll do it again. Mile High Sports, and Nick Bonito going to be on the cover. Mile High Sports Magazine. Doug, always appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Hey, enjoy that dinner in Olive Green.
Okay. I appreciate it. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Doug Ottewill is on tonight from Denver, milehighsports.com. Good Colorado high school discussion on that new formula to rank teams for the postseason using margin of victory. Let's go to our high school sports guy and South Dakota broadcasting legend, Craig Mattick, SDPB Sports, on a big day for Craig next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people get into all kinds of vehicles with loans as unique as them. Trucks, cars, SUVs, we finance them all with local service and rates starting as low as 4.99% APR. That's right, 4.99%. Keep your loan local and find the one that fits you at bhfcu.com. Apply today online or text 605-718-1818 to get started. Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member-owned and insured by NCUA.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Attention Black Hills, I've got exciting news. Atomic Wings is officially coming to Rapid City. These are the best wings I've had. The boneless wings, unlike any you've tasted. Fresh, meaty, tender. Also, if you're a traditional wings fan, they have 15 flavors from sweet to heat. Unbelievable wings. Rapid City, get ready. Atomic Wings is opening soon at 4040 Cheyenne Boulevard, just off Elkvale Road. Get ready for the best wing place to hit Rapid City. AtomicWings.com.
Are you ready to feel good in your skin? Visit the dermatology experts at Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic in Rapid City. Our growing team offers skin, hair, and nail care close to home. Here you have access to acne treatments, Botox, and laser therapy. You can also trust our experts to help you manage skin cancer screenings and treatments. It's total skincare personalized for you. Schedule a skin cancer screening or learn more about our services at sanfordhealth.org.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with lows around 64. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Highs around 93. Tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, lows it down to about 61. Mid-80s Saturday, warmer Sunday with highs in the low 90s and storms possible. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 88 degrees.
Play at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort this summer and qualify for $25,000 Sizzling Saturdays. Every Saturday, 3 lucky players will be drawn to claim their share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. Play with your clubhouse card and earn entries automatically. Win great prizes, including up to $5,000 cash, and this month's featured prize, a Yamaha BW50 dirt bike valued at $2,500. Don't miss your chance to get in on the excitement at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in downtown Deadwood. Visit tinlizzy.com for complete details, and we'll see you on Saturday.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. The Nate Brown Show live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It's always a great day in South Dakota, you bet. Thursday edition of the program. Rob Keighron's on his way in, live in studio. Rob Keighron on a Thursday happy hour. He's live. National radio host Rob Keighron coming up. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on KWSN in Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. And a special birthday wish live. He's spending his birthday with us. Can you believe it? Craig Mattick, SDPB Sports. He has turned 40 years old again today. Happy birthday, Craig. How are you?
It's very nice of you. Thanks. Yeah, the older you get, the more time you have on your birthday. It really, because you're not going anywhere. I mean, it's like, the kids, they get a chance. In our family, anyone who had a birthday had their choice of where they wanted to go eat.
Oh,
of course, the kids, those were easy. Those were the McDonald's or Chuck E. Cheese or somewhere easy like that, where my wife, and when the kids got older, they're it's $3 before we're done. So I take it easy on the family on days like today.
Oh, you do, low key. So give me a birthday experience today, not just the Nate Brown Show. This is it.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, been a nice, easy day. Doing a lot of prep work, getting things ready. The high school season. I mean, we got high school football starting tomorrow. And
yes.
In some of the classes, and so, working on some podcast work, and so that'll be up and going here in September.
All right, happy birthday! Let's have some fun. Craig Mattick is in tonight. SDPB Sports. Hey, I've got a question right out of the gate. So Colorado, I saw this last night, and I started my show with it. Colorado High School Activities Association is going to do a new formula for seeding teams. And so we know what we do here in South Dakota, win-loss record, opponents win-loss, opponents. So it's like a strength of schedule thing. Colorado does the same thing, and now they're adding margin of victory for games. So they say you win by 20 in basketball, you're going to be seen better than winning by 12. You win by 28 in football, that's better than winning by 21. They're going to cap it, so they don't want 50-point blowouts, but they do say if you win by these caps, you're going to be seen as a better seed in the postseason. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Yeah, not a fan. All that does is it grows tension between teams. A team that is not playing well and getting their butt kicked. They're going to have animosity. They're not going to be happy. They're going to, things could get a little rough. So, I'm not a fan. I mean, we already have the mercy rule, in South Dakota for football and basketball. Excuse me. But I know we don't use it for seeding, which is let's keep that out. I don't like it.
Okay, so I don't either. I said it just, I think, adds another layer of complication. Do you believe that coaches in Colorado, I'm a basketball coach, I need to win by 20, that's the cap. I'm going to keep a full court press on. If I'm up by 14, there's 3 minutes left, I'm going to try and get to 20. Will they do that?
Oh, well, we kind of do that in South Dakota. If you're looking at the mercy rule, it's 30, 35 points in basketball, and football, I forget what the numbers are right now. But, I see that a lot where, a coach is going to put the pressure on until they hit that running clock in basketball in South Dakota. They'll try to do that. And then once it hits running clock, then you see a few changes with strategy. And then football is the same thing. So, there's a parallel that is kind of similar to that.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate one more on this margin of victory component in Colorado. They're going to use it to rank teams better in Colorado for the postseason. So if I win by 28, let's say I'm in the hunt for a 2-seed or something in football. If I win games by 28, isn't that better? Aren't I better than a team that only beat teams by 10? So that's what they're trying to do.
It all depends on the team you're playing, and let's face it, we know in this state that we have really good teams in certain classes, and then there are teams that struggle a lot in the same class. And so I'm not going to pick on any school now, but I think we know what we're talking about, where sometimes it's pretty easy to put up 40 in football on a team, and maybe even more if you wanted to. There is that big of a change in talent in some of the classes.
Yeah, I am with you. I think you just stick with win-loss, opponents, and the strength of schedule component. They're going to try margin of victory, adding it into the Colorado formula this year in high school sports. Craig Mattick's on tonight from Sioux Falls, SDPB Sports. One more out-of-state high school thing. So I had a guy on from Las Vegas yesterday. There's this powerhouse football team. You may have heard of them, Bishop Gorman. They're a nationally ranked team. They're top 2. They play national games on ESPN, so they get the best of the best from L.A., from the region. So Bishop Gorman is also playing high school football in Nevada, and they're just a foregone conclusion. They win the state championship every year. You just can't touch them. So 30 schools in the big class in Nevada left the Activities Association to have their own Superintendent's Cup. They left Bishop Gorman with 2 other private schools for the big school class to do their state championship. What do you think of that? 30 schools left to do their own thing. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Not at all. If we had something like that in South Dakota, you would have gnashing of teeth. Wailing and gnashing of teeth. We've had dominant teams, but we haven't had classes that have threatened to leave the association because a certain school is too darn good in a certain sport.
Would that happen? Could that happen here? Say it ain't so.
It would have to be something that was just so egregious, and why is that school getting all these players too? I don't know all the insides on this team out in Las Vegas, but if the rules of the association are allowing that and the other schools don't like it, I suppose you could leave, but it would have to be something that is really egregious here in South Dakota for that to happen.
It is a crazy story in Nevada. 30 schools in the big school class leave the association, play for a Superintendent's Cup that they designed. 3 private schools with this massive Bishop Gorman program. They're going to play in the big school class in the Nevada High School Association. It's wild.
Kind of sounds like maybe what could happen in the NCAA down the road. You get a bunch of these top schools in colleges that say, the heck with you, NCAA, we'll go in our own league.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Would that ever happen in 11A? I think of a team, Sioux Falls Christian. Everybody's mad at them. They're really mad at them. What about Sioux Falls Christian? Would the 11A teams leave?
Are you talking about volleyball?
Volleyball, football, basketball. Yeah.
No, I don't think not anymore.
Okay.
It's getting pretty competitive.
All right. Craig Mattick on tonight. By the way, I do want to get your read on the high school football season. Brandon Valley's going to open up next week, Bellevue West. What do you think of this Omaha Metro, Sioux Falls Metro series that starts next week?
Yeah, it's a two-year trial. We'll see what happens. We'll learn a lot more about those Omaha schools this year. A lot of us don't know anything about them. Are they going to be good or not? How will they compare to Sioux Falls? If they're competitive games, I think it has a future. I certainly does.
I sure would think Omaha's going to be darn good, don't you think?
Well, yeah, I would think so. I mean, I don't know a lot of them down there, but this will be a fun year to see how we all compare. Because I know we've tried to do Sioux City, and we've tried to get Fargo and some of the North Dakota schools involved in the bigger schools, and they just don't want to. But let's see what happens with Omaha. Maybe we'll have some pretty good matchups with it. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, last one for Craig Mattick, a Viking season ticket holder. Your season's coming up, but do we see an NFL team outside of this country within the next 10 to 20 years? Roger Goodell said we're going to have an international team or teams. Do you see one in our lifetime?
Yeah, I think we'll see at least two. It wouldn't surprise me.
Wow.
I think Europe is hot for it right now. It seems to me that if they do have a team in, whether it's Germany or wherever, that's got to be tough for them. How that schedule is going to be, living in Europe, a lot of travel. It's going to be. The people out in California complain about heading to the East Coast all the time to play football. Wait till we have them in Germany, and they're going over the ocean all the time.
And you think that happens?
I do believe we will see one. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Mexico or one in Europe as well.
Craig Mattick's on tonight. He's getting ready for the podcast. When are you debuting the new In Play?
It'll be mid-September.
Okay.
Got some great stories coming, including a school that almost won a state title, but they're not around anymore. So we'll have that story. Some other great personalities. We talk past coaches and players and teams in South Dakota, and it's fun. And we're looking to begin our 7th year with In Play on SDPB. So looking forward to that real soon.
Okay, mid-September. In Play is the podcast. Craig Mattick's on tonight. SDPB Sports getting set for another high school sports season. Craig, enjoy your night. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you, Nate.
See you. Craig Mattick on tonight. East River meets West River on the Nate Brown Show every week with Craig Mattick here on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Thursday happy hours just getting started. You found it. Rob Keighron is back in. A lot to discuss, including this new college sports ruling today. We have to debate. I bet you Rob's wrong. Just my guess next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
This just in. Due to extreme heat and humidity, your oven has refused to turn on and has officially gone on strike. But have no fear, Lofi and Country Hearth Dakota-style 12-grain bread is here. Stay cool with a sandwich stacked high on Country Hearth bread for dinner instead. Soft, fresh, and no heat required. And if you're serving with chips, mind the crunching. Lofi doesn't like it. When your oven's off the clock, dinner's on Lofi and Country Hearth.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Denny Menlo Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Denny Menlo Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/26.
Imagine this. A bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
9 a.m. Sun's hitting in the living room. He's coming now. Go, go, go.
I gotta grab my coffee.
Forget the coffee, Keighron. Back hallway. Move, move, move.
Okay.
Dad, switching rooms to stay cool is so silly. Just get renewal by Anderson Windows.
The schedule keeps us cool, hun.
I was at Maddie's yesterday. They don't have a schedule. They just sit in any room all day.
In any room?
Nobody runs. Nobody rotates. They have renewal by Anderson Windows.
Windows are not a system, sweetheart.
Our windows leak. We pay for air we don't ever use.
She's right, Stan. We don't live here. We just circulate.
The Acclaim replacement windows, really energy efficient. Cool air stays in and warm air stays in.
Every room?
Every room, every season, like Maddie's.
What? No diagrams?
No diagrams, Dad.
Oh, rotate!
Oh, for the love of Pete, just call renewal by Anderson.
Oh, go, go, go!
No, no, no!
Don't pay for air you don't use. Make the best decision for your home with exclusive custom-fit Acclaim windows and ensemble doors. Only from Renewal by Anderson. Learn more at rbarapidcity.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live tonight, Thursday happy hour. It's here. Rob Keighron is live in studio. We are across South Dakota on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Great day in South Dakota, as always. You know that. Ready to go on X. Follow us, watch us live at Nate Brown Show. We're on X at Nate Brown Show, and we're streaming on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on YouTube. Rob was just out in the hallway. He's waiting. He's got his vitamin water getting all powered up. And you got a little upset. I said this next topic's about college sports, and I'm guessing you're wrong. That's just my guess, the way you've dealt with this thing. And so we got a big ruling in college sports, and I said, I'm guessing you're wrong. It's the great tease. It's radio. And you came in already fired up. You said, I'm wrong already? Let's see.
You don't even know my take yet. I know I'm pretty consistent when it comes to these things. And I'm all for teasing the radio. I'm all for making sure the audience wants to stay around and listen to something interesting. But geez, Nate Brown, you're a professional. Give me an opportunity to make a case before you tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, so let's see. Well, that's how I win the argument. I mean, I already hit you before you come in. I hit you right between the running lights. Here's the judge ruling today. So college sports, if you missed it, this happened yesterday, and now it's just exploding today. So the NCAA did the new rule. They got 5 for 5. It's called 5 years of eligibility no matter what. You get injured, you get this, you get that. There's no more red shirts, no more this. It's 5 years. Isn't that good enough from the time you're 19? So that's what the NCAA has established. Well, guess what they didn't count on? The guys that just graduated this past year, if they didn't get a 5th year, they say, well, we should get a 5th year. And the NCAA said a few weeks ago, no, this is moving forward. 5 for 5. Sorry. And they took it to a judge, and the judge said, well, the players that just didn't get a 5th year this past year, they should get a 5th year. He lets them back in, and we got guys now leaving NFL training camps that aren't going to make the team, and they're trying to get on teams right now. And you say what?
I say, okay, this is a little bit complicated, but the first thing I'm going to say is as usual, the NCAA, because they can't figure out their own situation, they can't figure out their own organization, they create their own problems for themselves. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to say 5 for 5, that you can have these 5-year eligibility, I don't have a problem with the judge saying people who didn't get that 5th year, who just finished, should not be penalized for it. That's number 2.
You're done.
No, wait. Now, there's a caveat to it, though. If you went and you signed with an NFL team just to go to training camp or to eventually be on a practice squad or maybe have a chance to make it, certainly if you were drafted, if you had anything to do with the NFL over this past summer, you have no business going back to college. But for the athlete who didn't go to the pros, who wasn't signed, wasn't drafted, or wasn't signed as an undrafted free agent, why would they not be able to go back and get their 5th year of eligibility? I'm for those kids going back. I'm not for the kid who was in the Cleveland Browns training camp all summer, and now he's looking for a college team for this whole year.
Okay, so that's your requirement. If you're an NFL guy, by the way, there are NFL guys. There was just a running back who's left and just went into the transfer portal. And it said, former Seahawks running back, whoever. And I'm like, you can't have that.
And I completely agree with you. That makes no sense to me. I get why the player is doing it. He clearly saw the writing on the wall. He wasn't going to make the Seahawks 53-man roster. Okay, and maybe he would have been on the practice squad, maybe he wouldn't have been. But if he goes back and puts up some good numbers at a college program this year,
and money,
he makes a little NIL money, and then
a little,
and then he probably has a better opportunity next year to do something with an NFL team.
So you wouldn't let the NFL guys come back?
Of course not. You made a decision to go to the NFL. You don't get to go backwards.
You're just making your Rob Keighron rules like the NCAA. That's a Rob Keighron rule. If you went to the NFL, you can't come back. But if you didn't and you're stocking shelves, you can come back.
Right, because
what's the deal?
Because you didn't go up a level of football. That's the deal. The guy who's going to just take a regular job and has a year of eligibility left, if he comes back 3 years from now, he should be able to do it. The guy who moves up the level of football, who goes to an actual professional team, should not be able to now go backwards back into college.
Okay, and let me tell you now where you're wrong.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Here's where you're wrong. You say, why can't that guy who just went to Wall Street and got his job, he got a big job, he's on Wall Street, now he wants to come back and play it wherever. It's because the rule is new. You say, why can't he do it? He should get to do it. Oh, I should get. Hey, my brother played at Wyoming back in the day. Why didn't he get NIL? He should get some reparations. We should give my brother some money because he didn't get it. It's a new rule. Sorry, you're out.
We grandfather people in with rules all the time. We make exceptions to rules all the time. And if the NCAA had any brain whatsoever, which they don't collectively, they would have already anticipated that this would have happened.
Yeah, they did. That's why they waited till August. That's why they waited this long, because they wanted to shut this thing down. They didn't want players to crash camps right now.
If it's okay for the senior in college right now to get another year going forward, so not this year, but in 2027, if it's okay for that kid to get a 5th year, why is it not okay for the kid who just graduated in May to get an extra year?
But he's done. He's out.
But this kid's going to graduate in 27, and he's going to get another whole year if he wants.
He's enrolled in college. He's enrolled. These guys are not enrolled.
But they can go back to be enrolled again. I mean, you talk about picking and choosing. You're picking and choosing. You're arbitrarily deciding that at this moment in time, everything going forward is okay.
That's the rule.
Everything going backward is no good. These guys are guys who've just been out of school for 3 or 4 months. Why would we not grandfather them in?
And by the way, you like this because the Penn State QB, this kid that transferred from Iowa State, Rocco, he's going to Penn State. They just asked him, I don't know what year he's in, probably 5. They said, hey, what classes are you taking this fall? You know what he said? I don't know. I'm taking 1. They go, what is it? I don't know. We got to figure that out. That's what you want? You want these guys just messing around?
They've been doing that since the beginning of time, Nate Brown. Are you kidding me?
One class in the fall?
I went to a big school, St. John's University. We were good in basketball when I was there. Do you think I ever saw any of those players in any classes? They didn't care then. That's 25 years ago. Well, you went to Wyoming. Did you see any? Did you go to Wyoming?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Montana. Where'd you go?
I went to Black Hills.
Oh, Black Hills State. Okay. Did you see any of those football players in all their classes?
They weren't doing very well, but I did see them there.
I mean, they never go to class. Now you're going to worry that the guy, at least he's being honest and saying, I'm only taking one class, as opposed to the guys who are taking 5 or 6 and got someone else doing their homework for them, someone up showing up to the class for them. At least they're honest about it.
I hope my brother's not listening. He was an academic All-American at Wyoming, okay? You actually have to go to class.
Is that a tough thing to do at Wyoming, Laramie?
You got to go to class and show up and get
Wyoming,
your work done.
the Harvard of the West. I forgot about that.
So I can't believe this. You're going to let the guys back in just because. So how far are you going to go back? Why not
just
the juniors?
This year.
No, why not the other guys? They didn't get it 2 years ago. Why not them?
Because
you want to pick and choose.
This is a couple of months ago. If they would have done this correctly, the NCAA, these guys would have had the same eligibility. You can't. At some point, you have to make a decision. I think it's crazy, though, to say.
They made it. Now it's over.
Right,
you're
now,
out of school. You're
August.
done.
Now
5
is August.
years moving forward. And here it is. You'd be there right there with the judge. You'd be the attorney, and you'd be fighting this battle. But Jimmy doesn't get another 5th year to make money.
It's not about that. It's about beating the NCAA. And you know how much I can't stand that organization. And if they would have done their due diligence about this from the beginning, they wouldn't be in this situation. And so I am not going to give them any slack whatsoever.
Last call on this, because I don't like the NCAA, and neither do you. But I said this proves why you need the federal legislation of Protect College Sports Act, and you don't want that, so you keep on swimming through oatmeal. That's what you're doing, Rob. You're swimming through oatmeal. You can't get anywhere. Take the federal bill, call it good, so we don't have this stuff happening.
No, I'm not for the federal bill either. I don't think any of these solutions work. I think the NCAA is going to have to figure out a way to collectively bargain with players. I don't know how they're going to do that. It's going to be a very complicated system. But when you've decided to give them money, that's the way it's going to work.
Okay, we have a fun question coming up next for Rob Keighron. He's been known to have a good time at weddings and receptions and things like this, but I'm going to ask him about a college football Saturday and weddings scheduled. What does he think next?
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
It began with his marriage to Roseanne Barr.
My first marriage, that was like Vietnam. There were no winners. I got out of there in a helicopter in a hail of gunfire.
And ballooned into a legendary TV and film career.
I've done 72 movies. I'm unbelievable. Yes, but only 6 of them were good.
The Box Elder Event Center is proud to present Tom Arnold.
Got arrested for public nudity in an old folks' home, and I want to say this.
Don't miss Tom Arnold for one night only, Saturday, September 5th. Get tickets at thebox.live.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with lows around 64. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Highs around 93. Tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, lows it down to about 61. Mid-80s Saturday, warmer Sunday with highs in the low 90s and storms possible. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 88 degrees.
At Spearfish GMC Cadillac, the deals are as hot as the pavement. Right now, save big on 2026 GMC Sierra 1500s with total savings up to $94.50, or choose 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Plus, get up to $2,000 off select GMC Sierra HD models. And with truckloads of new GMC inventory arriving soon, there's never been a better time to shop GMC. Hurry in for the best selection. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Online at spearfishmotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
The high school football season kicks off this Friday on Fox Sports Rapid City. The defending state champs and the second-ranked St. Thomas More Cavaliers kick off the season by hosting the Mobridge Pollock Tigers in a Class 11B matchup at Dutton Field. Join Dean Gurr and me, Jerome Wickersham, for the pregame show at 5:45, followed by the kickoff at 6. Don't miss the Cavaliers and the Tigers. Friday, right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in the Nate Brown Show live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We're ready to go. Fox Sports Radio, KWSN in Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. I got a listener text here that's trying to decide who's right about should players now that are out of college get grandfathered back in for another 5th year, because moving forward it's going to be 5 for 5. If you're a college athlete, you get 5 years. That's the new rule. That's the key word, new. It's not going backwards to take care of everybody and their mother from this past year. Sorry. And by the way, here's where you're wrong on this. A lot of those guys got medical red shirts. They already got 5. They got 6. They want another. They want another one. So you're wrong on this. It's like if you had the opportunity, we're going to change the rules now. So if you played 4 and you want a 5th, sorry, that's just the way it is. And I got a listener text that came in on this and says, hang on. Listener text, life ain't fair. There has to be a clean cutoff. We can't do this exception thing forever. Nate's take is correct.
Well,
he's deciding tonight.
Well, I appreciate that he's now the arbiter between you and I. And I agree there has to be some cutoff. But when the rule just got enacted, the cutoff is
now. It's now.
No, it's everybody going forward, right? We're going forward. This is the way it's going to be.
That's it.
We're going to allow this past class to absorb that same thing. Now, I'll give you another exception. If you've already had the 5 years or a 6th year, you should not get another one.
Okay, so like
but
if
I'm
you got
talking
a
about guys who just did 4 years, right?
Okay.
4 years and out. Those guys should get 1 extra year. The cutoff is we're going to take all these guys who haven't done 5 years at this point and give them that opportunity, and then it's over with.
It's all about money, and you know this.
I don't disagree.
Guys want another year because they can get money now in college, and they want to make another year of this. And so that's why even NFL players in training camps currently are dropping out. If they're not going to make it, they're dropping out, and they've entered the transfer portal. I've seen 7 players entering the transfer portal. By the way, they're not even going back to their same team. They're like, hey, I'm going to go somewhere else. Heck with this. I'm going to try and get another year. And it's judges coming to do this instead of the NCAA, which they don't have any teeth. No teeth anymore. That's why we need the federal law. But again, we keep going round and round. It's like chasing your tail when you have Rob Keighron in here. But let's go to this story. College football Saturday of a debate. This is going on in the college football world. Media is debating, and they started out as a joke, but now people have taken it far, saying, in the fall, on a college football Saturday, there should be no weddings. If you have friends that are going to have weddings, you should not do that on a college football Saturday. Why would you put a wedding? And so now the debate is, do you go? Do you go and watch your phone because you got a big game? Let's say you're a Jacks fan. Let's say Jacks Yotes, bring it here to South Dakota. Jacks Yotes, I'm a season ticket holder. It's the biggest game now with NDSU off the schedule. So I got to go to that. And I got my cousin's getting married. And now I got to decide Jacks Yotes, my cousin's wedding. How mature are you going to be on this, Rob?
Do you hate your cousin? I mean, I don't understand. Like, there's no decision. You have to go to the wedding. Of course.
Why are they doing the wedding in the fall? I do think there's legitimacy to that.
No,
why are you doing the wedding in the fall?
Think that.
Why?
You don't think that we should eliminate 4 months out of the year from weddings? You want to eliminate basically from the third weekend in August.
September to November.
Well, no,
Give me
August.
that.
We start college football in August now, late August, right? So you'd want to eliminate late August, all of September, October, November, and basically now with the playoffs, all of the weeks of December.
I will tell you, I would not have had my wedding. You know this. I would not have this. I've been a sports guy my whole life, not doing it in the fall. And I'm going to tell you, my daughters, as they grow older here, they're going to get a message from me. I've got the checkbook. We aren't doing it in the fall because I might want to go on a college football tour.
Brown children, I will pay for your weddings if you do it during the fall. I promise you that on the air right now, just to torture your father.
So you don't have any issue with it. You wouldn't join.
Listen,
no debate of what do you do if you have a big game. You're not like, now you're an NFL guy, so you aren't like, this college team is my team because you're a St. John's guy. So you don't, let's say you were a Husker or whatever. You have to bring your passion and say, you're going to miss the Huskers on a Saturday when you're a season ticket holder at 50-yard line?
Okay, yes, I absolutely would if it were an important enough wedding for me to go to.
A friend. It's a friend of a friend.
Okay, a friend of a friend's a little different, right? But like if it's a dear friend, a close friend, a close relative, someone I see regularly, yeah, I get it's a sacrifice, but there are ways to follow football. I get for the diehard who goes to the game, it is a sacrifice. We've discussed many times over on this show, I could care less about going to a football game.
Yes, that's right.
In fact, if you told me I didn't have to go to the game because I had to go to a wedding, I'd be like, oh, that's a relief. I don't have to go to that silly football game. I want to watch the game, and I'll find a way to watch the game. But absolutely, you go to the wedding, and for you guys to say, so how many months of the year are we going to eliminate weddings? Late August, September, October, November, December,
August.
What about January?
Hey, nobody's going to do
January.
the late August.
Pro football.
You got kids going to school. Nobody's going to do the late August thing. That's a mess. So that's a bad time of year. September, October, November, it's off the chain.
What about December?
Can't do it. December, you're going to do this Christmas, wedding, winter stuff.
What about January?
Have fun. That's fine. That's fine. Get it in the winter. Summer and some winter. Fall? Why are we doing? When did we start the fall weddings? I'd like to know. I'd like to know
people
that.
People got to get married, Nate. You've basically said
these are the people
that half the year you can't get married in.
No, these are the people that forgot to book in the summer, so then they got stuck in the fall. That's what's
going on. Can we
get
Kearney to edit this into like a Nate Brown's Rules of Relationships and Wedding Rules like podcast? Because this is some insanity. What you're this is a thank God you're married already, Nate.
By the way,
this is a hot take.
Well, that's the thing. So I had to go to kids. What about social events like kids' birthday parties and things like this? You get invited to when your kids were young, and I have to go to a birthday party. Is it okay for me to bring my phone?
Yes.
And watch the game at a kid's birthday party?
Yes. When I go to a social event,
what about at a wedding?
Of course.
What?
Absolutely.
You can't watch the game when you're at the wedding ceremony. You can't do that.
Well, the ceremony is a little tricky, but how long is the ceremony? I mean,
hour.
Is it really an hour?
Yeah.
You go to a lot of 1 hour wedding ceremonies around here?
Special music and stuff like this.
I mean, the actual ceremony when they're marrying them, it takes like 15 minutes, right? Like,
nah.
Unless it's a big church wedding. I mean, it's usually just 15 minutes. Once the ceremony itself is over, like the before it starts and everything after, you can absolutely have your phone out watching.
Okay,
the game.
so
and
you
should.
can watch
if you're
the
a fan,
game.
you should be.
Okay, I'm with you on that. So we decided that you can watch the game of the wedding reception, no doubt.
Yes.
At the wedding ceremony, no.
You see, you would lose your mind if you were from New York City, because I've been to a lot of weddings now out here, out west, since I've lived out here, 8-9 years. And if you want to compare that to a New York wedding, first of all, you have the ceremony, right? That's usually at one place, right? Not generally where the reception is.
Okay.
And then you have a gap of an hour or two before you get to the cocktail hour and the reception itself, the dinner and the reception. And that thing usually lasts 6 hours.
Yes.
Right? So the whole thing itself, ceremony, break, reception, you're probably committed to 9 hours in a day.
See,
you might miss 3 games in a college football Saturday. So you have to have your phone with you watching the football as you're at all of these events other than the ceremony itself.
So I've got the correct answer for everybody. How Rob, he's taking the high road, but he's really telling you Yeah, you have to go to the weddings. Oh, you should go to the weddings. Yet, he really is not engaged at the wedding. He doesn't care about anybody at the wedding, and he really wants to watch the game on his phone.
Well, okay, two things these are not mutually exclusive. I can care about the people and still watch the football game. I can care about multiple things at the same time. Yes, I can.
No.
Well, why not?
You're sitting there watching the game, and you don't care if Jimmy's up there. What, you guys get married? Yeah, get it over with already.
But you go
That's
up.
What doing.
Here's what you do. In the halftime, you go up and you make sure you wish the couple well. You give them the gift. You know what? In New York, the gift would always be, cash in an envelope. You hand them the cash in the envelope.
Okay.
Always cash.
Okay.
We don't want anything other than cash. Hand them cash in the envelope. Give them a big hug. Take a photo with them. They're like, "Oh, we saw Nate. It was great to chat with you." Now
Then
you're back at your table. You're watching the games on the phone. You don't have to be bothered the rest of the night. No, I guarantee you, I'm not having any soda pops at the wedding.
Something like that.
8 or 10 vodkas. But
listener text coming in. Let's flip it to NFL Sundays. What if there's a wedding on a Sunday? Is Rob going to opt out of a wedding for your Giants?
No, I don't opt out of weddings. I'd have to really not care about the people to not go to the wedding. I would find a way. And honestly, what I was going to say is I go to social events all the time in the fall, people's homes, some of whom are big, football fans or sports fans, some of whom are not. Like sometimes I get invited to a social event. I'm like, man, it's kind of a bummer. I really like those people, but they're not football fans. You know what I do? I go in there, I chat for I give up like 15 or 20 minutes, right?
Well, that's it.
I'm going to charm everyone like I always do. I'm going to entertain people. No. I stay for longer than.
Okay.
Let me finish my story. You are tough today, Nate Brown. 15, 20 minutes of they have my full attention. I engage with them. And then, after I've made everyone laugh and I've had a couple of cocktails and getting everyone having a good time, I'm like, can I find where your TV is, please? And then I go and turn the TV on very casually. I turn the sound off so that it's not bothering anyone. And then all of a sudden, I start drawing a crowd by me of people who want to watch the game, and nobody cares anymore. But you have to give them 20 minutes of your attention that they feel like, oh, we had them for 20 minutes, then you go do what you want.
That is correct. I've played that out. As a matter of fact, when I get invited to the in-laws for Sunday dinner, sometimes that TV's on a lot. Mother-in-law doesn't love it, but we got to keep it on. We're at the dinner table, and I keep looking around the corner, seeing how the Broncos are doing. I got to do that.
Absolutely. There's no reason to go to someone's house on a Sunday. If the game is not on when you walk in, particularly if you live West River, like game started at 11 a.m., right? So whatever time you show up at someone's house, if that TV is not already on, it's probably not a place you want to spend much time at.
How about that? A hard hit. By the way, do they tell me to turn it down? They do.
You can deal without the volume for while you're actually sitting down for the dinner, you can deal without the volume. But if you're not sitting down for dinner, the volume can be on.
Let's come back with a question about Deion Sanders. This is something that hit headlines yesterday, and I wonder where Deion's at today going into 2026 and where Colorado is at in the big picture. Jump into the Deion Sanders experiment next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. White elastomeric roof coating stops leaks and restores flat roofs. It lowers roof temperature by reflecting heat from the sun, helping you save on energy costs. And it's easy to apply with a brush, roller, or sprayer. Shop our entire selection of roof coatings today on Menards.com. Plus, check our weekly flyer for all of the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans, all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member-owned and insured by NCUA.
Attention Black Hills, I've got exciting news. Atomic Wings is officially coming to Rapid City. These are the best wings I've had. The boneless wings, unlike any you've tasted. Fresh, meaty, tender. Also, if you're a traditional wings fan, they have 15 flavors from sweet to heat. Unbelievable wings. Rapid City, get ready. Atomic Wings is opening soon at 4040 Cheyenne Boulevard, just off Elkvale Road. Get ready for the best wing place to hit Rapid City. AtomicWings.com.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
Are you tired of being pointed to a wall of shoes? At Trav's Outfitter, we know better. Buying shoes shouldn't be guesswork. That's why we find the right footwear for the way you move, whether you're walking, working, or just on your feet all day. Athletics, work boots, Western boots, everyday comfort. Because when the fit is right, life is better. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales. The hot weather, well, it's here. It sure is. And we're here for all your hot summer automotive needs. Get an AC recharge and fill for most vehicles from $229. The best brake deal around at just $399 per axle with new pads, rotors, labor, and a lifetime warranty for most vehicles as long as you own the rig. And I'll say it again, that's one incredible brake deal. Yes, sir. We're here to take care of all of your automotive needs. So from oil changes, batteries and tires, to cooling systems, to AC charges and repairs, basically any other automotive repair, we're your answer. Nothing like one-stop shopping. That's our goal. Plus, we carry over 50 brand name tires and have deals as good as anywhere. So come see us to keep living a happy and affordable motoring life. Anytime Auto Sales service and detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASC certified automotive repair specialist. See anytime.com. And of course, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota, Rapid City.
Anytime Auto Sales.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.